Welcome to the Nausicaá National Sea Centre, located in the historic port town of Boulogne-sur-Mer on the picturesque opal coast of northern France. Once just the largest aquarium in France, Nausicaá is now reaching for an even greater distinction to become one of the most expansive, sophisticated and influential aquariums in all of Europe. This bold new chapter in the centre's history has its roots in a vision that stretches far beyond tourism and entertainment. The project aims to position Nausicaá at the heart of international marine research, conservation and education, an institution that not only amazes visitors with the grandeur of underwater worlds, but also contributes meaningfully to global efforts in protecting our oceans. For decades, Nausicaá has hosted a fascinating variety of marine life: agile sharks patrolling spacious tanks, luminous tropical fish darting among vibrant corals, dignified caimans basking in carefully recreated mangrove environments, and charismatic sea lions that often steal the show with their playful antics. With over 35,000 marine creatures representing hundreds of species, it already ranks among the premier aquariums in Europe. Drawing around 600,000 visitors each year, the centre has established itself as a vital regional attraction. Yet the leadership, staff and scientific team at Nausicaá wanted to push further, to build something never before attempted on European soil. This enormous new undertaking centres around the construction of an awe-inspiring main tank with a capacity of 2.6 million gallons of water. In comparative terms, that's roughly the volume of 4 Olympic-sized swimming pools. But this impressive statistic is not simply about boasting rights. In the competitive world of public aquariums, tank volume determines an institution's standing in international rankings, influences the complexity and diversity of species it can host, and shapes the immersive experience it can provide to visitors. By scaling up so dramatically, Nausicaá sets its sights on joining the ranks of the world's top 5 aquariums, allowing it to evolve from a national attraction into a global player. The upgrades include more than just enlarging a single tank. Nausicaá intends to double its total surface area, enhance its research facilities, broaden educational programs, and add sophisticated conservation initiatives. This strategic decision acknowledges a pressing global reality. Marine ecosystems are under threat due to climate change, pollution, overfishing, and habitat destruction. Institutions like Nausicaá must offer more than entertainment. They must serve as guardians of biodiversity, advocates for sustainable solutions, and platforms for scientific collaboration. The expansion will enable Nausicaá to host twice as many animals, up to 60,000 individuals, representing a wider range of species, including many that are endangered or difficult to breed in captivity. Such a grand ambition demands meticulous planning, deep scientific knowledge, and technical prowess. From the moment the project was conceived, experts from many disciplines began working together. Architects, marine biologists, engineers, construction specialists, aquarists, and educational coordinators convened to align their visions. Among the project's leading creative minds is the renowned architect Jacques Rougerie, a former collaborator of the legendary Jacques Cousteau. Rougerie's designs are inspired by biomimicry, seeking lessons from nature's own elegant solutions. Instead of relying on standard right angles and flat surfaces, he envisioned a curvilinear building whose shape suggests seashells, stingrays, and other marine forms. As visitors move through the expanded centre, their perspectives will shift, offering ever-changing angles of observation, just as when one dives beneath the ocean's surface and encounters unexpected wonders at every turn. Central to the visual and emotional impact of the new section is a remarkable architectural and engineering achievement: Europe's largest underwater viewing window. This colossal acrylic panel weighs 54 tons, measures about 69 feet in length, and is 20 feet high and 15 inches thick. Traditional glass would shatter under such enormous pressure. Instead, a special type of plexiglass called methacrylate is used, known for its flexibility, strength, and optical clarity. The window must endure the force of 500 tons of water pressing against it, day after day, year after year. It must also tolerate the occasional contact from large animals, like sharks, whose skin is covered not by smooth scales, but by tiny tooth-like structures that can scratch surfaces. Should scratches occur, methacrylate can be carefully sanded and polished underwater, restoring its clarity without dismantling the entire structure. Yet, manufacturing and transporting such a gargantuan panel is no small feat. Only 3 companies in the world possess the expertise for this task, and one of them is located in Italy. In a specially sealed hangar near Rome, engineers and technicians spent an entire year assembling the viewing window, bonding 7 giant methacrylate panels together and then heating them for weeks in a controlled environment to fuse them into a single massive sheet. Even after this meticulous process, the window had to be inspected inch by inch for flaws that might distort visitors' views. The Nausicaá team traveled to Italy to verify its optical quality, accepting nothing less than near perfection. Tiny imperfections can be sanded away, but any major defect would have been disastrous, requiring costly rework and lost time. Time, in fact, emerged as one of the greatest challenges. The entire expansion must be completed in under 2 years to control costs and keep up with global competitors. Delays began accumulating when the window's transportation, originally expected to take about 10 days, stretched into a month due to winter snowstorms and unexpected roadblocks. In some cases, the flatbed truck carrying the priceless cargo moved only a few dozen miles in a day. The journey became a test of patience, logistics, and endurance. When the window finally arrived in Boulogne-sur-Mer, the atmosphere on the construction site was electric. A mixture of relief, excitement, and intense nervous energy. The next step was a precision operation of unparalleled complexity, lifting the 54-ton window into place using one of the largest mobile cranes in Europe. With no margin for error, the crane operator delicately maneuvered the window for hours until it was perfectly seated against the tank's concrete frame. The moment the window settled into position felt like a collective exhalation for everyone on site. As the building's walls rose and its internal systems took shape, the technological demands became ever more evident. Nausicaá is situated not far from the English Channel. To supply the new tank with natural seawater, engineers devised a sophisticated system of pipelines and pumps. 4 820-foot pipes were laid beneath the beach, reaching out into the channel's currents. Guided by a computerized control panel that adjusts for tidal movements, these pipes feed raw seawater into a vast subterranean network, eventually reaching the aquarium's cutting-edge filtration facility. Down in the basement, a suite of 12 colossal sand filters, housing some 200 tons of sand, washes and purifies the water so effectively that the entire 2.6 million gallons can be filtered in under 4 hours. Different layers of sand, each with a unique grain size, trap particles and ensure that no matter how large the tank, the water remains clean, stable, and oxygen-rich. Moreover, the system includes a contingency supply of water sufficient to sustain the aquarium for several weeks in the event of environmental crises, like an oil spill or other pollution events that could compromise the inlet water quality. While the construction and engineering feats unfolded, the living heart of Nausicaá, its aquatic inhabitants, required just as much care and foresight. Aquarists and marine zoologists worked tirelessly to prepare corals, one of the most vital yet fragile elements of marine ecosystems. Corals are not plants, but tiny animals living together in colonies that can stretch over vast underwater landscapes. They serve as the backbone of coral reefs, nurseries for countless marine species, and essential indicators of ocean health. Yet rising ocean temperatures, acidification, and pollution have placed coral reefs around the world in imminent peril, with many scientists predicting a mass die-off by mid-century if no interventions are made. Nausicaá holds the largest coral reproduction center in Europe and has supplied colonies to aquariums across the globe. Here, the team propagates corals by taking small cuttings, frags, and attaching them to artificial substrates. Under optimal conditions, these frags grow into new colonies. To meet the demands of the massive new tank, aquarists had to produce 10,000 corals in under a year, a daunting challenge. They monitored water chemistry down to the smallest detail, ensuring that temperature, pH, salinity, and nutrient levels remained stable. Every coral fragment, no matter how small, represented a living investment in the future of marine biodiversity. Meanwhile, preparations were also underway to bring in the marine fauna that would make the 2.6 million gallon tank feel like a true slice of the ocean. Among the star attractions are hammerhead sharks, captivating and mysterious predators recognized by their distinctive flattened heads. Hammerheads are endangered, and they seldom thrive in captivity. The slightest mistake in handling them can cause serious harm. Unlike bony fish, sharks possess cartilaginous skeletons with no protective rib cage. Nausicaa's teams planned years in advance, obtaining special permissions from governments and ensuring that any wild capture was strictly regulated and sustainable. They devoted 7 years to raising a young hammerhead shark from a pup to adulthood, carefully monitoring its growth, feeding habits, and health. In addition to hammerheads, other species like manta rays, batfish, and tropical shoals traveled from distant oceans to join the exhibit. Some arrived from Florida in specialized tanks, exhausted and disoriented after long journeys. The aquarists used gentle handling techniques and even baby bottles filled with a nutrient-rich fish puree to nurse the rays back to full strength. Every step, from quarantine procedures to target feeding training, was meticulously planned. Target feeding involves using visual cues, such as a floating symbol, to signal a particular species that it's their turn to feed. This prevents chaos and ensures that even predatory species coexist peacefully by understanding that meals come reliably and in abundance, leaving no incentive to harm tank mates. Time advanced steadily, and the days before the grand opening dwindled. The construction site gradually transformed into a world-class facility. 100 companies and countless workers had to coordinate their tasks, from the divers who drilled small holes in the tank's walls to anchor coral fragments, to the electricians who installed hundreds of floodlights, to the engineers who tested the filtration systems, and the zoologists who monitored water quality every hour. The immense cooperation required was astonishing. The finishing touches included adjusting the water's visibility. Ironically, engineers had to ensure that the filtration was not too perfect. If the water were crystal clear from one end of the tank to the other, visitors would lose the sense of being submerged in a natural environment. Slight turbidity adds mystery and surprise. By carefully slowing down the filtration rate, the engineers introduced a subtle haze in the water column, enabling larger animals like sharks to emerge dramatically from the bluish depths. As the official opening day approached, the stakes were enormous. Not only had the construction finished on time, but the team had managed to overcome formidable obstacles. They installed 85 tanks containing a total of more than 4.5 million gallons of water, an almost unimaginable volume, housing over 60,000 sea creatures, double the original population. Thanks to their relentless work, Nausicaá successfully joined the elite circle of the world's largest and most prestigious aquariums. Above all, this expansion positions Nausicaá as a crucial voice in international marine conservation dialogues. Once the doors open to the public, visitors step into a new dimension of oceanic exploration. Instead of experiencing the sea as spectators, they become immersed in a living environment where the boundary between human and marine worlds seems to blur. A mesmerizing journey unfolds. One enters along raised platforms, peering down into the immense tank, feeling that unsettling yet thrilling sensation of being suspended above mysterious depths. A long underwater tunnel with 10,000 corals offers the chance to stroll through a colorful world of biodiversity. Finally, emerging into a grand hall dominated by the panoramic bay window, Visitors find themselves face to face with a near-perfect recreation of Colombia's Malpelo Marine Sanctuary. Here, hammerhead sharks glide silently through schools of fish, rays fly gracefully through the water, and intricate coral ecosystems pulse with life. The entire environment is a stage set for conservation awareness, a three-dimensional classroom where people of all ages can learn about marine ecology and feel inspired to protect it. Nausicaá's transformation underscores a crucial lesson. Combining engineering brilliance, scientific expertise, architectural innovation, and public engagement can yield results once thought impossible. By building one of Europe's largest aquariums, it has not only created a landmark attraction, but also crafted a beacon of marine stewardship. Visitors, researchers, educators and policymakers will gravitate here, forging new partnerships and initiatives aimed at understanding and preserving ocean life. The center will continue to host educational programs, international symposiums and collaborative research projects, all working toward one goal: to ensure that future generations inherit healthy and vibrant oceans. In years to come, children who visit Nausicaá may grow into scientists, conservationists, or simply ocean lovers who carry with them a deep appreciation for marine life. The memory of peering through that giant window and feeling the silent, grand presence of hammerhead sharks drifting in a sun-dappled underwater world might be the spark that inspires them. It could lead to innovations in sustainable fisheries management, advances in coral farming techniques, or policies that protect critical marine habitats. Ultimately, Nausicaá's ambition and determination have carved out something truly extraordinary. This is not merely the biggest aquarium in France anymore, but a marine center that holds its own among the global greats, steadfastly committed to the preservation and understanding of the oceans. It stands as a testament to what can be achieved when human ingenuity, dedication, and respect for nature come together. As visitors step back onto the cobblestone streets of Boulogne-sur-Mer, they carry with them a new appreciation for the vast, interconnected world beneath the waves, reminding us all that the ocean's story is our story, and that we must cherish and safeguard this blue planet we share.